guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany from She Run the World Travel Blog, and I'm a digital nomad who travels the world full-time while I work remotely and just finished up 5 months doing just that in South America. Now I'm back home in Los Angeles and I realized that I've actually never done a video here. I'm one of the few people who are actually from Los Angeles, born and raised, but I haven't lived here since I started full-time traveling in 2018. So, now that I'm home for about 2 months visiting family before I take off on my next digital nomad adventure, I knew I had to make some videos of my hometown. So, in this video, I'm gonna focus specifically on downtown LA. So, just using public transportation and walking like I personally do when I'm traveling to new places. And let me just be completely real with you. Those of you who have romanticized LA in your heads, from the movies and the TV shows that make it seem like, oh my god, it's the coolest place ever. I want you to lower your expectations just a little bit. It is a cool place, don't get me wrong. I love that I grew up here. I'm very fortunate to have grown up here. But I always get the comment from people like, LA was whatever whenever they come to visit it for the first time. I think it's because their expectations are all the way up here and they think it's gonna be a movie set and, Hollywood glamour. And, if you lower your expectations a little bit, that'll help. Because, it is the homeless capital of the US. So a lot of areas are very, very dirty, very smelly. So, I just want to be completely real with you before you head out there. I don't want you to feel kind of how I felt the first time I went to Paris. I had done the same thing. I romanticized it. Oh my God, it's Paris. And then I got there and I was kind of like, just like every other European city, not a big deal. So it's kind of let down, whereas if I had lower expectations, I probably would have loved it. So, I'd say the prettier parts of what we call LA are probably what you're thinking of LA are, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Malibu. And for those places, you'll definitely need a car or be prepared for some very long, expensive Uber rides. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that video next week, exploring the outer areas of LA where you're gonna need a car. So before I jump into the actual walking tour itinerary, let me give you, some tips from a local. So when you arrive at LAX airport, surprisingly, it's not very connected to downtown LA. So the easiest way for you to get there through public transportation, which it's really not public transportation, but is to take the flyaway bus. So follow the signs for the flyaway bus, and that bus is going to take you to Union Station, which is right in the heart of downtown. It's $9.75 per person one way. And you can just buy the ticket, you can download the app if you want to and just buy it on there and scan it when you go on. Totally up to you, but that's probably the easiest way. So like I said, it drops you off at Union Station, which is the central travel hub of LA. So you can pretty much hop on like any metro line or bus from here. So once you're in Union, wherever your hotel is, you'll be able to use public transportation to get there. And a little tip, if you are struggling to find reasonably priced accommodations, which you probably are because LA is crazy expensive, I would go ahead and look at this map that I'm going to pull up right now of the Gold Line Metro. So this metro actually takes you out into the suburbs, like outside of LA. So if you find a hotel or Airbnb close to one of the stops on the Gold Line, it'll probably be cheaper, and then you can just easily hop on that line and head into downtown whenever you want. My personal favorite area that's actually a lot cleaner and nicer than downtown LA, in my opinion, is downtown Pasadena. So you could try looking for, a hotel or Airbnb near Colorado Street, which is near Memorial Park Station on the Gold Line. Again, I personally prefer to hang out here for a night or day out rather than going all the way into LA. So if you do stay here, it kind of gives you the opportunity to check out both Pasadena and downtown LA. So without further ado, let's dive into the downtown LA walking tour by pulling up the map. Anyone who knows me or has watched any of my videos before knows I'm a crazy Google map maker. I'm just a super visual person, so I always use a map to plan my own travel. So I just feel like it's helpful for other people who are watching the video or trying to plan, for themselves. So I went ahead and made it for you. And you can kind of notice that I did the rainbow colors to kind of show the progression. So we're gonna start the day with red, orange, yellow, obviously ending with purple. So we'll start at Union Station. Whether you're coming from the airport or on any of the downtown metro lines, they'll connect here, so it's super easy to get to. You'll head out, snap a few photos inside the station itself. And fun fact, a ton of movies that say they're in New York City's Central Station are actually filmed here. It's definitely not as big or nice as New York's in my opinion, but it still is super pretty. So then you'll head out the main doors, which will lead you to Olvera Street, which is a super historic and iconic part of LA. Spend some time, just walking up and down, seeing the stalls that have all the artisan crafts, and then at the end of the street you can grab some amazing taquitos at Cielito Lindo. But don't get too full because we have a long day of eating ahead of us. Next, you'll head down Los Angeles Street and make a left on Temple to get to Little Tokyo. It should only take you about 10-ish minutes to walk there. And honestly, there's nothing specifically to do here. I do like walking around the Japanese Village Plaza because it's super cool. Again, just something different. But if you are there, I do recommend stopping at the Fugetsu Do bakery shop for some killer handmade mochi. Next, you'll head down Alameda Street for about 10 minutes or so to the Arts District. The whole area is super cool to just walk around, see all the murals. There's tons of breweries and restaurants and bars and all those types of things, just very hip area. My top 3 recommendations for this area are Angel City Brewery, which of course is a brewery, but also just a super cool vibes, you know, games inside to play and just kind of hang out. So the next place I really don't know how to pronounce, I just say Wurstkusch, but I know that I'm saying it wrong. It's a German place. It's these really unique, fancy, crazy hot dogs, which is so LA, right? We take something like super normal and we just make it over the top, but these hot dogs are crazy good and they have like a million different types of mustards and sauces to cover them with. So highly recommend checking that out, even just splitting a hot dog with whoever you're with, just so you can get a taste. And Salt and Straw for super unique ice creams. So if you want to hit all 3 of those spots I just mentioned, sweet. If not, you know, pick the one that entices you the most. One little safety tip, you know, you can see here on the map that right next to the Arts District is Skid Row, which you've probably heard of. It's the most heavily populated area for homeless people in LA. So, you know, it's definitely a bit sketchy. It's super dirty and smelly. So the Arts District is completely safe within itself, but don't go wandering around there or you'll end up in Skid Row. So just go to the area I mentioned here, you can see on the screen with the 3 little pins. Again, like I said, it's where the breweries and the restaurants are, and then turn around and head back up First Street for your next stop, which is Walt Disney Concert Hall. It's about a 20-ish minute walk up First Street. Along the way, you'll see Los Angeles City Hall, so you can snap a few photos and then continue on. And once you get to the concert hall, there's really not much to do unless you're planning on attending a concert there, which I've never done. But regardless, it is a crazy cool building. So tons of fun photo opportunities. Now you're already on Grand. So on Grand, there are 2 fantastic museums, the Broad and Mocha. I personally prefer the Broad because, you know, it's free and I just like it better, but you just have to reserve those free tickets in advance. Whereas the Mocha, you don't have to reserve in advance, but they are $18 per ticket. So if you're a museum person, go for it. Obviously, I would just pick the one that interests you the most. That way you still have time for the other activities of the day. And if you're not a museum, continue on to the rest of the tour, which is heading down 1 street to Olive Street to hop on the Angels Flight Railway. It is absolutely iconic in LA and has been open since 1901. It's the world's shortest railway and costs $1 each way, or if you do have the tap card, which you probably will because it's just the standard card that you use when you're using any metro or bus system in LA, it'll only cost you 50 cents. So you'll ride that to the end, which drops you off at Hill Street right in front of Grand Central Market. And now is your time to chow down. Grand Central Market is seriously a foodie's paradise. I think there's about 40 stalls. There might be even more of, you know, anything food and drink related. So spend some time, you know, trying different things from different stalls. Every time my boyfriend and I go there, we always get, you know, a couple different things and just share them and just try it, kind of like our own little foodie tour within the market. So highly recommend doing that. Then once you're done, if you exit the back way out of the market, you'll actually pop out on Broadway Street, which is where the Bradbury building is. It closes at 2 p.m. on weekends and 5 p.m. on weekdays. So depending on the day that you're visiting and what time it is at this point in your tour, you might have to do this before the Grand Central Market. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But it's just a piece of LA's history, you know, just a quick pop in and photo op. There's not too much to do there. So you could, you know, swap this with the Grand Central Market just to do it really quick before you eat. Next, you'll head down Spring Street to the last bookstore, which closes at 8 p.m. Again, another super cute photo op, what LA is known for. And of course, if you like books, a great place to browse for some books and buy 1 or 2. Then you'll end your day by walking up 5th Street for literally 3 minutes and you'll get to Perch. Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm super frugal, and Perch does not fall under that category. So I've personally only ever gotten drinks here, and you know, the drinks are still very pricey, but you're paying for the view. So if you're still full from Grand Central Market, awesome, you don't have to pay for the expensive food in Perch. If you want to try it out, do that too. Again, when in LA, why not? But either way, grab food or drinks up on the rooftop surrounded by the LA city lights. It's a great way to end the perfect walking tour in downtown LA. From Perch, you can hop on the red or purple metro lines at Pershing Square and head back to Union Station or wherever your hotel is. So I'll end this video by saying, just like any other city in the world, there are dangerous parts of LA, yes. So, you know, keep your head on a swivel, practice normal precautions, but where you'll be walking is all the main touristy sites and, you know, broad daylight, so you should be completely fine safety-wise. Like I said in the beginning, for next week's video, I'll do a full LA itinerary that'll include all the surrounding neighborhoods like Malibu and Beverly Hills, not just the downtown walking tour. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Thanks for watching my first video of my hometown, and I'm so excited to share even more of it with you. See you in the next video.
If you're from the west side, Cali, born and raised, right from the town with the palm trees and good vibes.